Hello, everybody. Chris with 911 Card Games here with Scenario 2 of Brethren of Ash, the new mini campaign that comes with Chapter 2 of Arkham Horror, the card game. So we are on Scenario 2, Smoke and Mirrors, and Scenario 1 ended really badly. In the same turn, Izzy drew her signature weakness, which killed her, and Joe Diamond drew Overzealous, which took him out as well. So Miskatonic University burned down. No, with none of us saving. So let's see what we got here on this one. You follow Dr. Armitage back to his apartment. A veil of black smoke obscures the moon and stars as a warm breeze carries ash and embers through the familiar city streets. I've had my suspicions that something foul was afoot. Several students have disappeared in the last few weeks, the head librarian tells you. All of them began to exhibit strange behaviors after attending a supposedly exclusive meeting off campus not long ago. They complained of horrible, incessant whispers and a strange bruise that suddenly appeared on their skin. Then they vanished. Fearing the worst, you ask him about your friend. They insisted we meet earlier today, he replies. They told me that an organization calling themselves the Brethren of Ash has been inviting students and vulnerable citizens to these strange assemblies. Your friend listed a number of individuals who attended, although it is unclear whether they were prospective recruits or loyal adherents. Before they left, your friend spoke of another meeting tonight, a gathering of all the faithful. I don't know why, but the thought of it fills me with an unutterable dread. And now your friend is gone, he says dourly. You resolve to interrogate the list of suspects and then meet at Velma's Diner in Easttown before midnight. The head librarian suggests you use a light touch rather than a more heavy-handed approach, which could alert the Cabal. However, you worry you will not have any other choice. Add 2 cultist tokens to the chaos bag for the remainder of the campaign. I have done that. All right, so we've got the setup here. A couple of locations, downtown and uptown, have 2 different options. So we have to randomly select one. So we'll grab that one. Put that in there, and here's Uptown. And then Miskatonic University, depending on how you finish Scenario 1, it is either there recovering from the fires or it is in flames, and so I put the in flames one into play. All right, so those are there. Now we've got the People of Arkham set here. It says shuffle them up and choose one random and set it aside out of play without looking at it. And then shuffle the remainder of that deck with the Servant of the Flame and deal 1 face down between the various districts. North side, downtown, south side, French Hill, uptown, and Water District. Let's find out. All right, so shuffle these up. Right, we're going to leave that one out of the game. And now we've got Brethren of Ash. All right, so let's see. Where are we putting these? We are putting these at north side. East Town, which is over here. Merchant District. Merchant District is here. Let's see here. Merchant District, Waterfront District, which is over here. South Side and French Hill. So here's South Side. And French Hill is over here. All right, so we've got that taken care of. Miskatonic University burns, so put Miskatonic University in flames into play. Remove the other copy from the game. Each investigator begins at Miskatonic University. All right. Place one doom on the agenda for each investigator in play. Oh, so we start with 2 already. Those in a second. If we had Dr. Henry Armitage asset, which we don't, set aside something. Strategy tip. Time is short. During the scenario, investigators may either defeat suspects or trigger their codex entries to interview them. How you choose to approach the scenario with violence or interrogations will have an effect on the challenges you face later in the campaign. Also remember that resigning is not losing. You may choose to abandon your search at any time. So, seems like setup and play is probably going to be very similar to, what was it? The Midnight Masks, the second scenario of the original core set, where you had the locations, you had to go find the people, and do some things to investigate them. So let's take a look at the act and agenda before we draw our decks. Agenda 1A, Arkham Alive. An unnatural haze fills the streets of Arkham. Some of the locals say the hills west of Arkham are burning. Despite the cool autumn weather, the city streets feel unnaturally warm as evening falls. Has an action, resign, you return to compare notes with Dr. Armitage about your friend's whereabouts. Has a 10 doom threshold, of which there's already 2. Right. Act 1A, Augurs of Flame. You must find the whereabouts of the suspects on your friend's list. Actions. Spend 4 clues as a group to draw the face-down card beneath your location. Ouch. So we would need 24 clues to get all of them. Objective. If there are a total of 6 elite enemies in the victory display and or under the act, advance. Hint. Either defeat the suspects by force or resolve the codex entries to generate leads for your investigations. There is no second act. This is all there is. All right, so clues are going to be really important here. So let's look at Izzy. We got a ward of protection. We got a jumpsuit. Jim Culver. Level-headed, and bandages. Well, Jim Culver, and I think I'll keep level-headed. As nice as bandages would have been after that last scenario, I'm going to pitch it. Let's get 3 more, hopefully get some clue tech. Emergency cash, soul link, and second sight. Awesome, my clue spell. All right. All right, looking at Joey D. We get Mag Glass. It's good. Emergency cash, not bad. Overpower, weakness. Right tool for the job, and a fingerprint kit. Okay, so Mag Glass, fingerprint kit, I think are really good. Although at some point I'm gonna need some weapons because I know enemies are gonna come out. You know what? I'm just going to hold on to his, figuring if I can get his fingerprint kit out, then I can use right tool for the job to go look for my weapon. Let's prioritize cloovering here to start with. All right. So that is that. So let's take a look at Miskatonic University. Arkham's own Miskatonic University is often a source of rumors and gossips. The university's restricted archives are a subject of great interest, and the campus often is awash with chatter about strange findings of its curious faculty. Miskatonic University in flames, force shroud, 1 per investigator clue, and forced when the investigation phase ends. Excuse me. Deal 1 damage to each player card with health at Miskatonic University. Okay, well, we're not going to be staying here, are we? Okay. Well, that's going to change a few things of my plan. So, my turn. I guess we'll have Izzy. She will play an emergency cash. Get 3 resources. Then she is going to spend 4 resources to get Jim Culver out. And then let's move to Uptown. Uptown. The newest district in Arkham is filled with fashionable shops, swinging jazz music, and a growing population of students and young newcomers. Uptown is 2 Shroud, has 4 clues on it, and has an action. Heal up to 2 damage from among investigators and or allies assets at this location. Limit once per game. That's nice. I suppose I do need to check. I didn't check. Yes, that does connect. Because not all of these connect. So like this one only connects here. It doesn't connect up and down. So I need to be sure to double check that as I go through things. So Izzy is here. And we get 4 clues. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that is Izzy's turn. She emergency cast Jim Culver, move down. Okay, so let us. Joe, first action. He is going to spend 4 to get a fingerprint kit out. Comes in with 3 supplies. And then as a fast action, he's going to spend 1 to get a mag glass down. So second action, I will investigate here using a fingerprint kit. So I will exhaust and spend a supply. So I am a 4, 5, 6 versus 4. Excuse me. That is a +1, so I succeed, so I get 2 additional clues. Or I get 1 additional clue for a total of 2. And then third action, I will move down to Uptown with Izzy. Right, so play, investigate, move. Those are my turns. Enemy phase, no enemies, upkeep. Right, Izzy gets, look what I found. That's handy. And Joe picks up Unexpected Courage. And they each get a resource. All right, so now we're getting a Doom. So we are 3 of 10. And encounter cards. Izzy gets a Rogue Gangster. 3/3/3. Hunter. Prey is the most resources and has Retaliate. And then Forced, after Rogue Gangster engages you, lose 1 resource. If you cannot, this enemy attacks you. Okay, well, I'm losing a resource there. Joe gets Downpour. Test Evade 3. For each point you fail by, you must either lose 1 action or place 1 of your clues on your location. Oh, don't like that. I guess we'll pitch an Unexpected Courage, so I'll be 1 up. Tablet. What is a tablet in this? Tablet. -3 if you fail, place 1 of your clues in your location. Oh, man. Okay. That was very unfortunate. So I fail by 2. So I either have to put a combination of 1 action and 1 clue. So I guess we'll just put it there. That's 1, and I lose an action. Alrighty then. Well, that's unfortunate. All right, for Izzy, we are going to first action. We are going to try to evade this person. I guess I will commit Soul Link, which I have to take a horror to commit, which I took a horror, so I will exhaust Jim to draw a card. It's another copy of Level Headed. All right, so that is a 3, 6 versus 3. Elder Thing, -1 for each clue you control. Haha, joke's on you, I've got none. So, he is exhausted at this location. This goes into my discard pile. All right. I guess instead of getting my big spell down, I am going to spend 2 to get level-headed down. And then third action, I will investigate here. 2 versus 2, so I'm even. -1, so I am a 1 versus a 2. I am going to spend 2 resources to play Look What I Found. So after you fail investigate test by 2 or less, discover 2 clues at your location. So, right, so it was evade, play, investigate. Izzy is done. Joe Diamond, first action will be, let's do an emergency cache to get some money. Second action, we will investigate here with fingerprint kit. So I am a 4, 5, 6 versus a 2. I am up by 4. Skull. Skull is -X, where X is the total number of elite enemies in the victory display and under the act, so 0. So I succeed, and I get an additional clue, so I get my 2 clues back. Third action, we will just investigate here. Normally, we are a 5 versus a 2. 0, I succeed. All right, that is it for Joe then. Enemy phase, none. Upkeep. We will put this guy back with Izzy, who will draw a card and gain a resource. Now in upkeep, we get a guts. Joe draws a card. It is a vicious blow and gets a resource. All right, Mythos phase. We get 4 out of 10. Encounter cards. Izzy gets Eager for Death. Test Will 2. Increases skill test difficulty by 1 for each damage on you. So it is a 3. If you fail, take 2 horror. Well, I don't like that. So that is... So currently I am a 5 versus a 3. I'm 2 up. I'm going to just chance it. 2 up. -1, so I succeed. All right. Joe Diamond gets Crossfire. Test Evade 3. If you fail, each investigator at your location takes 1 damage. What? Oh, man, I do not like that. Joe's got no evade icons to throw. Oh, man, is there even a point? I've got 1 icon I can throw at this, but that would only put me up even. Which, skulls are 0. So I think there are 3 skulls, a +1, and a couple zeros. So it doesn't seem like it's worth it. I'm just going to take it. If I pull a 0 here, well, serves me right. Nope. Cultist is -1. If this test is targeting an elite enemy, which it does not, reveal another token. So I would have failed regardless. So each investigator takes a damage. 1 damage here. And then 1 damage on Izzy, which I will exhaust Jim to draw a card. That is my meat cleaver. That's handy. All right. So I think what we're going to do, we'll have Izzy go first. We will evade. I'm going to spend 1 for level-headed and commit my other copy of level-headed. So level-headed is spend a resource, you get +1 evade for the skill test. +2 instead if this is a test on a scenario card. This is not a scenario card. This is an encounter set card. I think if it was actually one of the smoke and mirrors cards, it would be considered a scenario card. So anyway, so I am a 5 versus a 3, up by 2. +1, succeed. All right, action 2. I am going to choose to do this action. I'm going to heal 2 damage from among investigators and or allies at this location. So I'm going to take the 2 damage off of me. And action 3, I'm going to move over to Southside. Action 3, situated on the south side, situated on the southern slopes of French Hill, Southside is perhaps the most welcoming and quiet of Arkham's districts. It's a 2 shroud, 4 clues, has a double action. Investigators at this location draw a combined total of 3 cards divided as they choose, group limit once per game. So the difference between Uptown's action and Southtown's is Uptown's is limit once per game, so each investigator can do it. This one is a group limit, so we can only do it once no matter how many investigators there are. And I just realized I did not check. Yeah, it is connected. Okay, so it is connected. Just making sure. Forget to do that sometimes. All right, so 4 clues there. Izzy is done. All right, Joe Diamond, first action. We will investigate here. 5 versus 2. Auto fail. Second action, we'll do it again. 5 versus 2. That is a -1 for each clue you control, so -3. So I do succeed. Get that clue. And I would have healed extra there, but I need to just get out of here. So third action is come over to Southside as well. All right, so that was investigate, move. Investigator phase done. Enemy phase, he is exhausted. Now we're into upkeep. All right, Izzy draws, gets jumpsuit, gets resource. Joe Diamond draws and gets a fedora and a resource. Mythos phase. We are 5 out of 10 there. Izzy draws a bat horror, elusive and hunter. It is a 3/4/4. Oof. Can't say I really like that. Joe Diamond, on the other hand, draws a rogue gangster. Okay. And we've got no weapons out. This is going to be one of those games, folks. All right, investigator phase. I don't even know what to do here. So let me double check. Elusive, I believe, once you hit or you hit it or it hits you, it then exhausts and runs away. Let me just validate that real quick. They don't even have it, do they? Not in the campaign guide. So, but that is what I recall. I'm not going to look it up in the notes. So, do I just take a hit? To get him out of there. And then what? I mean, I guess money, meat cleaver for next turn, but then this guy is going to hunt in and attack. And then what's Joe do with this gangster? Decisions, And decisions. I thought I was doing great because I got all my clue tech out. I didn't realize this scenario was going to be so enemy heavy, and I should have focused on getting weapons out first. I'll even learn, I guess. Yeah, I don't even know what to do here. Pardon for the analysis paralysis here. I guess we'll try it. Izzy is going to, first action, take a money, which triggers this. I take 1 and 1, and then this goes and runs off. We'll put you up here. And then because I took a damage or horror, I will exhaust Jim to draw a card. It is a ward of protection. Second action, I will get another money. Third action, I will spend all 3 resources to get a meat cleaver down. And that is Izzy's turn. All right, so Joe is going to fight the rogue gangster. Just try to punch him. He's going to vicious blow him. Wait, that sounded really bad. He's going to use vicious blow while he punches this gangster. So I am a 4, 5 versus a 3, up 2. -4. I fail. And he gets retaliate. Okay, that's a problem for me now. Oh, I just realized Joe actually should have even been over here because I lost an action on that last turn, so I didn't have actions to investigate, move. Oh well. Yeah, so let me fix that real quick. Since it's still early in the phase, it really doesn't matter. Joe would be over here, and he's got 2 of these guys on him now. Oh, man. And he only has 2 damage on him. Or no, that was a while ago, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a while ago, so we'll just deal with it here. Okay, so I guess we're just going to try to punch him. Oh, so Vicious Blow is gone. We'll just try to punch him with Overpower. Second action. So I am a 5 versus... No, a 6 versus a 3. +1. So I do hit, so I do 1 damage to him. This draws me a card, which is a Mad Glass. Not super helpful. Second action... I will just try to punch him again. I don't really have any choice in the matter. I have any pips to... Nope, I have no pips to give. And I'm not pitching a ward of protection. And Izzy... I could do a jumpsuit. No, we're going to hold off because I'm going to need that for this stuff, so... 0, 0, or skull is total number of enemies in the victory player. Okay, so 0. All right, so I do succeed. So I did manage to punch him twice. Really sad that Vicious Blow didn't work. Okay, so enemy phase. This guy hits me for 1. So I am at 4 of 7. This guy comes in, and his prey is the most resources, which is Joe. And then once he engages me, either lose a resource, or if you cannot, the enemy attacks you. So I will lose a resource. That, because that's just on engage. Now, He attacks. So that's 5 out of 7. Joe's got to go over to Uptown and heal himself up here. And now an upkeep. This guy readies up. Here. Right. Izzy draws a bandage. That could be useful. And a resource. Joe pulls another fedora and another resource. All right, 6 of 10. Izzy draws red herring. Test, investigate 2. This test gets +2 difficulty if you control 1 or more clues. If you fail, take 1 horror and place 1 of your clues on your location. Well, I do have 2 clues, so this is an investigate 4 test. But instead, I'm going to spend 1 to ward of protection this. I have to take a horror for that, which then I will use Jim to draw a card on. It is Isabella's twin 45s. Oh, hello. 4 cost, 6 ammo. I like this. I like that, but I have no money to be able to get that out anytime soon. All right, so that was Isabel's encounter card. Joe gets another enemy. Whippoorwill. Oh, God, these things back. 2-1-4, Aloof, and Hunter, and each investigator basically gets -1 to every skill check at this location. All right. All right, investigator phase. Action 1. Let's try here. We are going to, Isabel's going to take this action. Or no, this action. So I will spend 4 clues. 4 clues. I only need 4. I don't know why I thought I needed 6. Just to make sure. Yeah, it is only 4. So I will take 3 from Joe and 1 from Izzy. Let's look at the card underneath it, which means it's probably going to be that Servant of Flame guy to really just kick it in the pants. No, it is Sergeant Earl Monroe. Dirty Cop. He is a 3/4/3. He is elusive. After this enemy attacks or is attacked while it is ready, it moves to a connecting location with no investigator and exhaust. So it is exactly what I thought. Has an action parlay test. Decrease the difficulty for this test by 1 for each damage on Sergeant Earl Monroe. If you succeed, read his entry. Okay, so I guess he is an enemy. He is not aloof, so he's coming to Izzy, who drew him. Okay, so that was action 1. Action 2. We will fight. Yeah, action 2, we're going to fight him. So we will, let's see here for this attack. I will take a horror to deal +1 damage on this. So that puts me at 5 horror. So I don't have 3 or few remaining sanity, so I am just a +1 fight. So this is 4 versus 3. We'll commit a jumpsuit to be a 5 versus a 3. I don't want to pitch my twin 45s, but I may need to. Yeah, instead of the jumpsuit, we will pitch the twin 45s as much as I want to get out, because that gives me 2 icons. So that gives me a 6 versus a 3. That's a 0, so I succeed. So he takes 2 damage. And then third action, let's see if we can get him into the victory display, shall we? All right, so we are going to do this parlay test. So it is a fight 2. I'm a 3. I will pitch jumpsuit to be up uh, 2. So I'm a 3/4. He gets it's a test 4, but he gets -1 for each damage on him. So I soften him up with putting a meat cleaver in his shoulder, and is that -1? So I do succeed. Okay, so I read Codex 4. Codex 4. Sergeant Earl Monroe. At the mention of the Brethren of Ash, the police officer brandishes his nightstick and tells you that you best stick your nose somewhere else. You brace yourself for a fight. Heal 1 damage. Okay. Place 1 resource on him as a lead. If there are 1 per investigator leads on him, continue reading. Otherwise, any investigator may trigger this codex again. Oh, okay. So I got to do this twice. I got to check something real quick here. All right, so well, that's Izzy's turn. Oh, I forgot about the -1 here. That did not impact anything because I was still up by 1 there, and I was up by enough before, but I got to remember that. Shoot. All right, I just want to see if Parlay... I don't think it does, but I want to make sure that Parlay does not do a... does not cause a attack of opportunity. So bear with me here a quick second while I look up. Looking for the rules reference. Rules reference. Parlay. Activate. I'm going to look for. Attack of opportunity. Other than to fight or evade to activate a parlay or resign. Okay, so fight, evade, parlay, and resign do not trigger attacks of opportunity. That is what I recalled. It's been a bit since I've tried to parlay while I was engaged with someone. So I got no icons I can throw at this thing, and this guy's got retaliate. Okay, well, we're going to try it. Let's try to do the parlay first. Action 1, we will parlay ourselves up here. So that is... Oh, no, so this is a test 2, and I am a 4 -1, so I'm a 3. So I'm still up by 1. Okay. Hey! Elder Sign is... What does he get? He gets a +1. If you succeed, draw 1 card and gain 1 resource. Nice. So I draw a card. Working a hunch. Nice. And gain a resource. Let's just do that to get ourselves up to 7. All right. So we did the parlay again. This time he has 2 leads on him. Eventually, Monroe relents. All right, all right. The officer spits some blood as he nursed a bruised cheek. There were a few of them who came to me after we logged the 3rd disappearance. They insisted the folks who had disappeared did so willingly. When I said I wasn't convinced, they took me to one of their meetings out near the docks. There was something really screwy about the whole affair. Something wrong with their eyes, like they were hypnotized or something. The officer looks away in regret. They paid me to keep quiet. I'm not proud of it. Don't tell anyone about this. I promise I'll keep to the straight and narrow from now on. You have successfully interrogated the suspect. Place Sergeant Earl Monroe beneath the act. All right. All right, so he's over here. All right. So that was action 1. Action 2. I gotta... Oh, man, I got nothing there, nothing there. No, nothing there. So, I'll get hit for 2, and I'm at 5 of 7. So if I don't kill one of these guys, I will die. This guy can come in, and I can have him go after Izzy. So, yeah, I have got to. I guess I have got to try to punch one of these gangsters and hope that I get a +1 or a 0 out of this. Because, let me look at this. So now the skull is a -1, so that won't work. Cultist is a -1, so that won't work. Tablet -3, and Elder Thing is a -1 for each clue you control, and I control 1, so that won't work. So it is a 0, a +1, or the Elder Sign are the only things that will work for me. Just making sure. Nope, no icons. Investigate and, oddly enough, evade. And these are willpower, evade, and investigate. So, all right, Arkham, you owe me after the last game, so let's see here. Is there anything else? No, because her ability is just on hers. No. Yep. All right, let's see. Oh, it's a 0. Okay. Okay, so that defeats this guy. Okay, so that is that. That was second action. Third action, I can't really do anything because I'm going to take 1 for sure, which will knock me up to 6. So I can't take any action or do anything that will cause me to take a damage. And because he has retaliate, I can't try that again because the likelihood I'm going to draw 2 -2s is pretty small. Or 2 zeros is pretty small. So I am choosing to end my turn. Okay, enemy phase. This guy hits Joe for 1. This guy comes down, we'll say hits Izzy. I will do 1 damage on Izzy and 1 on... I'll put the horror on... Actually, no, I will put the horror on Izzy. Because that gets her to the 3 sanity remaining for the meat cleaver. And then he goes and runs away again. Yeah, sure. You come over here to Uptown. Actually, no. You go to Merchant District because if Joe survives this, he's got to come over here and do that action. Okay. Upkeep phase. All right. Izzy draws Word of Protection. Gets a resource. Joe draws Perception. Gains a resource. All right, we are at 7 out of 10 as he draws. What is this? Arcane Lock. Attached to your location, limit 1 per location. As an additional cost to enter or leave the attached location, you must spend 1 resource. And as an action, you can test willpower or intellect 4. And if you succeed, you can discard it. So, kind of like locked doors in the original, but this just makes it harder for you to move rather than to take things out from investigating. And Joe gets Downpour for each point. Test evade 3 for each point you fail by. Either lose an action or place 1 clue on your location. Okay, well, we will commit one of our fedoras to this. And I think Izzy needs to hold on to her bandages just in case Joe needs it. Yeah. So we're even. Tablet is -3 if you fail. Place one of your clues in your location. So there we go. We fail. I lose, but that is a -3, so I'm a 0 versus a 3. So I lose all my actions because I don't have any clues to place on it anymore. So I can't take that option. So Joe is stuck here. Oh, I forgot even I was a -1 for that. Okay. Well, action 1, Izzy is going to pull over the road gangster. Action 2, she will attack. What skill cards do I have? The only skill card I have is Soul Link, which would take 2 horror to play. That doesn't seem like a good idea. So, yeah, let's just do it. Meat Cleaver 5 versus 3. 0, I succeed. So he takes a damage. And then third action, I will do it again. I will take a horror, which will draw me a card, into Timely Intervention. That's really nice. So again, 5 versus 3. 0, I succeed. He takes 2 damage. He is defeated. And because I defeated an enemy, I can heal a horror. All right. So that is it for Izzy. Oh, this guy should be ready. He readied an upkeep. So that is it for the investigator phase. Enemy phase. This guy comes, hits for 1 and 1. I think Jim Culver is going to take that for me. And then he's going to run over here again. All right, refresh phase, upkeep phase. Draws a card, unexpected courage, gets a resource. Joe, Dorothy Simmons, and a resource. So that's good. That's soak for him, but. All right, Mythos phase. We are at 8 of 10 on that, and Izzy gets may finish off Joe Diamond. Test evade 3, so I am a even right now. So I've got unexpected courage. I've got things that I can commit to this. I'm actually just wondering if I just Ward of Protection this thing, so I don't even put him at risk of it. Yeah, let's do that. We'll spend 1. We're going to take our 7 out of 9 horror to Ward of Protection, so this doesn't even happen. And then because I took a horror with Jim, I will draw a card into an emergency cache. All right, Joe's card is another Whippoorwill. Okay. So we are at -2 here. All right, well, Joe's turn is going to be easy. 1, 2, and then heal 2 damage. I guess Izzy will man. I don't like any of my options here. I guess we'll go 1, 2 over to French Hill. Let's take a look at French Hill. The stately homes of French Hill have fallen into disrepair as the old families slowly die out. 4 Shroud, 4 clues, and action. Choose and discard 1 card from your hand to place 1 charge or secret on an asset you control. Limit once per round. Not bad. I'll be honest here, folks. I'm not sure if we're even going to be able to get one more of these buggers before we have to resign. Okay, so that was 1, 2 to move over here. Action 3. Let's play emergency cash. Let's get some money for Izzy so we can power things up, I guess. All right, enemy phase. We're going to split up the whippoorwills. 1 goes after each of us. And we'll have this guy come down here. All right, upkeep. Izzy draws. Another second sight and gains some money. Joe draws. Overzealous. Okay. So draw the top card of the encounter deck, and it gains Surge. So first card is Aerial Pursuit. So this surges. The nearest non-enemy moves once towards a location. If it engages an investigator, it makes an immediate attack. Well, the nearest is this guy. So he moves 1 towards my location. Doesn't say the nearest one not at my location. And since it's aloof, it doesn't engage me, so I'll say it whiffs. But this one surges, and then I still have to do this surge. Arcane Lock on this location. Into another whippoorwill. Oy. Well, that was the upkeep phase. I hate Overzealous so much. 9 out of 10. Izzy gets Flash Flood. Attached to your location, gets +4 Shroud until the end of the round, at which point you discard it. Okay, Joe Diamond gets Raising Suspicion. Place 1 Doom on the nearest enemy with no Doom on it. If no Doom was placed by this effect, it gains Surge. Okay, well, that actually is perfectly fine because it doesn't cause the agenda to advance, and all Doom gets removed when we flip this. So that doesn't matter to me. All right. So my turn. Let's start with Izzy. We'll spend 4 to get our second sight out. Comes in with 3 charges. Second action, we're going to move up to the Waterfront District. Let's see. Waterfront District. With its street perpetually flooded, the former Rivertown District is a ghost town. Only dour factories with the heavy cement foundries are able to stand amongst the waterlogged shanties. They 1 shroud, 2 clues, and an additional cost to investigate Waterfront District. You must spend an action. All right, so I do not even have the action capacity to get that one this turn. But it would be really nice to stay there. I'll have to deal with a whippoorwill next turn, but it's only a Shroud 1, so that's okay. So third action, we're going to gain a money. We'll stay here. All right, Joe Diamond. If I stay here, I'm a -2. But I also don't have any weapons out. If I move up to Miskatonic Universe... Oh, shoot. I wasn't able to come this way. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I just realized that's not connected that way. So I cannot move there. I can still put this down. Izzy has 2 actions left now. Shoot. Forgot. This doesn't connect here. This only connects this way. Um, all right, hang on a quick second here. All right, I'm back. Okay. During that break, I also looked up elusive, and it is when they are attacked or have attacked, but it doesn't say succeed. So, second action. Izzy is going to, or wait, does it? To enter or leave. Okay. All right, that changes things because, all right. So I'm going to completely redo my turn. I am not going to put down second sight, so I'm going to put my 4 resources back. First and second action will be to move into here. So that engages the Bat Whore. I will attack. I am a 5 versus a 3. He does not retaliate, so I don't really care if I hit or not. Hopefully I do, but I'm not taking the horror to do an extra damage. Nope, I fail. But I attacked him, so he runs away and exhausts. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Joe's turn is 1, 2. And then he's going to move up to north side for his third action. Let's see if we can get maybe one more of these guys before everything falls apart. Okay, so Northside is an industrial hub boasting modern factories, cheap housing for migrant workers, and the newly restored Arkham Advertiser. 3 shroud, 4 clues. Action, spend 5 resources to discover 1 clue from any revealed Arkham location. Limit once per round. Wow. That's a lot. I mean, I guess that's nice. You just get a clue from someplace, but 5 resources is a lot. Right, and that is his turn. All right, enemy phase. This whippoorwill comes over here. Actually, Hunter, it's going to go for the closest one, so they're all going to come over to Izzy. Right, and then this guy, and now we're on to upkeep, so this guy stands up. Stand up. Let's see here. So Izzy draws an unexpected courage. I gotta have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Gain a resource. Joe Diamond draws 1911. Nice. And a resource. All right, so now we put a doom. It is at 10. So let's clear this off and see what happens. An itch that you've done your best to ignore becomes unbearable. Pulling back your sleeve reveals a patch of peeling gray skin. Gingerly, you scratch the dead skin to reveal a smooth scar, almost as if you were branded. The scar resembles a hand with an unblinking eye inset into it. Touching it gives you a warm, heady feeling, like being drunk. One at a time, each investigator draws 1 copy of the set-aside Mark of Elakos weakness. Each investigator is now a bearer of that weakness. Add that card to the investigator's deck, ignoring deck building restrictions. It does not count towards the deck size. Okay, well, maybe I should have resigned before this happened. All right. So, Mark of Elakos is a curse. Revelation, put it into play in your threat area. And force, when your turn ends, take 1 damage. Assign that damage to an asset you control. If able, double action, discard this. All right, it's end of turn. This thing can go away, but... All right, yay. All right, Agenda 2B, Emergent Evils. Steam rises off the wet pavement as though the ground beneath it were actually burning. Action resign. You return to compare your notes with Dr. Armitage on your friend's whereabouts. 8 Doom Threshold. All right. Encounter cards. Izzy gets Raising Suspicion. Place 1 Doom on the nearest enemy with no Doom. Okay. Joe Diamond gets Eager for Death. Test Will 2. Increase by 1 for each damage. If you fail, take 2 horror. So it is a willpower 6 test. Yeah, Joe's failing this and taking 2 horror. -2. Hey, look, he failed. So he takes 2 horror. All right. So what is Izzy to do here? Izzy is going to spend 2. Oh, man. All right, so let me see here. No, because I got to get rid of this thing. Because if I don't get rid of this, Jim dies. But do I care that much? Kind of? I was thinking about getting the bandages down. Because that would allow me to heal up some damage. The problem is that this guy comes in, he's going to hit me for 1 and 1. And that either takes Jim out or puts me at 8 out of 9. So I think Jim's going away regardless. Yeah, I think he's going away regardless. Because the other option is I've got all these whippoorwills that can I try to kill them with my meat cleaver, which allows me to do that. So we'll try that next round. So first action, we're going to spend 2. I'll just put it there to get bandages out. Comes in with 3 supplies. Second, third action, I get rid of that. Goes away. I'm not going to worry about the mark on him at this turn. First action, we are going to investigate here with fingerprint kit. So that is a 3. We are a 4, 5, 6 versus a 3. Sure. Let's throw a perception in too. Actually, no, we won't. We'll just do a 6 versus a 3. That's fine. Skull. So it's a -1. So I succeed and I get 2 clues. Second action, I'm going to spend 4 to kick out my fingerprint kit. And let's get a 1911 out. And third action, we'll just investigate here, up by 2. -1, so I succeed. Get a third clue. And then when your turn ends, so my turn is done, I take a damage. I don't have any assets that it can be assigned to, so it does come to me, so I'm at 5 of 7. All right, that is it. So enemy phase. This guy comes down here to attack. I will just have Jim Culver take it. And then he runs off. Put him there this time. Now we get to upkeep phase. Draw. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. So, take 1 damage. So I take a direct damage. However, after an investigator or ally at your location takes 1 or more damage, spend 1 supply to heal 1 damage. So I will spend 1, and it's not an exhaust, so I heal it. Now, if you have 6 or fewer remaining sanity, I do take a direct damage. I will spend a bandage to clear that out. Then if you have 3 or fewer remaining sanity, take 1 direct damage. I will just take that one. Yeah, bandages are very important for Izzy, I think. Okay, and then I don't think I gave myself money. So this for Joe, draw a card, another copy of Dorothy, and that. Okay. So now we are 2, so 1, 2, and we draw. Izzy gets red herring, test willpower 2, or investigate 2, +2 if you control 2 or more clues, which I don't. If you fail, take 1 horror and place 1 of your clues on your locations. Oof, that is rough. That is rough, buddy. We will pitch an unexpected courage to this. So we are a 4 versus a 2. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right, auto fail. Okay, so I fail. Take 1 horror. And place 1 of your clues on your location. Right, well, I am 1 horror away from death, so I can't even take 1 hit from that guy. But let's see what Joe's encounter card is. Aerial Pursuit, Surge. Nearest non-elite enemy moves once towards your location. Okay. Let's have the Whippoorwill move over there. And it surges into Flash Flood. So this guy gets a +4 shroud. That's fine. All right. Investigator phase. We're going to go 1, 2 for Joe to get rid of this. Action 3, we will investigate here. So we are a 5 versus a 3. Let us pitch 1 copy of Dorothy to be 6 versus 3, up by 3. Zero, I succeed. So we get a clue. That is done. Okay, Izzy. I'm going to spend an action to engage this Whippoorwill with the Doom on it. Second action, I'm going to fight with my Meat Cleaver. So I am a 3, 4 versus a 2, -2, so I am a 2 versus a 2. Let's do an unexpected courage. Do I want to do this? Because the other option is, instead of engaging and attacking, I could just 1, 2 move up here and see what's there. You know what? Let's do that. Let's do that. The only benefit, if I did this, I would heal a horror, but I'd be stuck here, which means I'm going to get hit anyway. So, all right, we'll go 1, 2 up to the Merchant District. Since the flood, the Merchant District has become a focal point for business and development in Arkham. Each day seems to bring in more and more construction, workers, and industry. 3 Shroud, 2 Clues, and fast action during your turn. If there is exactly 1 or 2 investigators in the game, move to a connecting location. Oh ho ho. Okay. Alright, I'll do that. Let's get further away from things. We will use that as a fast action to come up to downtown. There's never a quiet night in downtown. Arkham's busiest district is home to glamorous new theaters, hotels, high-rises, and the finest dining in all of Massachusetts. Or so they say. 4 Shroud, 4 Clues. Reaction after you discover 1 or more clues at this location, gain a resource. All right, so action 1, 2 to move up here. Free action to move up there. So I have 1 more action to go. And we're just going to move over here. Third action there. Enemy phase. This guy hunts over here. These 2 guys hunt here and here. This guy hunts over here. I'm just going to discard this because he goes away at the end of the round, so it's not going to matter. All right, upkeep. Ooh, making a mess of my cards. All right, Izzy draws a guts and gains a resource. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Problem is, I'm so high up on horror, I can't even trigger Izzy's ability. Joe draws a right tool for the job and gains a resource. All right. Doom, 3 of 8. Encounter card for Izzy is Bat Horror. Okay, that is the end of the encounter deck, so we shuffle up. Dropping cards all over the place. Joe Diamond draws. Eager for Death. Test Will 2 increases by 1 for each damage on you. If you fail, take 2 horror. Looks like I am taking 2 horror because that is a 7. Skull, I fail, so I take 2 horror, so we are at 5 of 5. So Joe is 2 damage and 2 horror away from being defeated. Izzy is 3 damage, 1 horror away. All right, investigator phase. Joe Diamond is going to go first. He is going to take this action to spend 4 clues to look at the card underneath this location. It is David Renfeld. Oh, Mr. Renfeld is back. 1 fight, 5 hit points, 4 evade. Aloof. After you successfully investigate his location, read. Okay. All right. I can do that. I can do that. So, I guess second action for Joe is going to be to investigate here. We'll investigate 4 or 5. I will commit right tool of the job to be 6. 6 versus 3. Skull, that is a -1, so I succeed. Because you don't need to have a clue here to investigate. So that is number 1. The haughty Mr. Renfeld tries to brush you off politely, but when you mention the Brethren of Ash, he flees down a nearby street. Although you give chase, the eschatologist is surprisingly fleet-footed. Move David Renfield to a connecting location with no investigators if able. Bark? Place one resource on him as a lead, and then if there are two leads on him, read it. Okay. Okay, well, that was that. So, all right, so I guess last action we will move over here. Okay. Izzy, first action, we're going to take a swing with our meat cleaver into the bat horror. So I am a 5 versus a 3. 0. I succeed, so I do hit. I didn't take the additional horror to do more than 1 damage. So do a damage, he runs away and exhausts over there. Action 2, move over here. Action 3, I'm going to investigate here. I am a 2 versus a 4. I will commit unexpected courage to be a 4 versus a 4. Joe Diamond is going to commit a perception to be a 6 versus a 4, and I'm going to commit 1 second sight to be a 7 versus a 4. +1, I succeed. So I get a clue. And then from that location, I gain a resource. So that puts me up to 7 resources. And Joe Diamond gets to draw a card. It is Detective's Intuition. Nice. After you draw during your turn, it is not my turn, so I don't get to trigger that. However, I successfully investigated David Renfeld's location. Okay, move him to a connecting location. I will follow the rules. And then place a token on him. And if there are 2 leads on him, there are. Eventually, you find Mr. Renfield hiding in a cluttered bookshop. After you explain yourself and your intentions further, he acquiesces to your questioning. I only attended the meeting out of an academic curiosity, the eschatologist says. While much of what they said was utter drivel, I did glean some insights. It seems the Brethren of Ash worship an ancient devil named Elokos, a being of fire and destruction, said to be responsible for the great fire of Alexandria. Or so they claim. As if that was something to take pride in, he scoffs. When you mentioned the Brethren, I worried you were one of them. They're an army of thralls, all united under their queen. You have successfully interrogated the suspect. Place Renfield beneath the act. All right. So that was fight, move, investigate. Isabel Barnes is done. All right, enemy phase. Whippoorwill moves up here. These 2 move up here. This guy moves up here. And now we're in upkeep phase, so this guy stands up. And draw cards. Isabel draws another bandage, gets money. Joe Diamond draws a deduction and gains money. Okay. We might, being greedy, but we might be able to get 1 more. So we're at 4 out of 8. If I can come here, get the clues there, and trigger that one next turn maybe. But let's see what the encounter card does to us first. Isabel Barnes gets Downpour. Test evade 3 for each point you fail by. Either lose an action or place one of your clues on your location. Okay. We will spend 1. So we're up by 1. And then we'll commit a bandage to be up by 2. Ooh, what's that give me? That is a +1. If you succeed, heal horror. Oh, yeah. All right. No, I'm not on death's doorstep. I'm 2 steps away from death. All right, and Joe Diamond gets raising suspicions. Place 1 doom on the nearest enemy with no doom on it. Let's put it on that whippoorwill. All right, investigator phase. So the question is, I could, in theory, all right, we are going to spend 2 as a fast action, working a hunch. So I gain a clue from my location. Second action, we are going to investigate here. So I'm a 4/5. I'm going to commit my detective's intuition to be 6/7, and a deduction to be an 8. An 8 versus a 4. So I'm up by 4. Zero. I succeed and get 2 clues. That was fast action was working a hunch. Action 1 was investigate. Action 2, come over here to Easttown. Easttown, the oldest district in Arkham, Easttown hasn't aged well. While Hibbs Roadhouse and Velma's Diner are well-frequented establishments, newcomers find very little else inviting. 2 shroud, 2 clues. After you discover the last clue from Easttown, search your deck for an ally asset and play it, playing its cost. Shuffle your deck. Oh, and I did gain a resource from that. Ooh, I didn't notice that Merchant District does connect to everything, so this guy will be able to come up there next turn and hit somebody. So that was fast. Investigate. Move. Oh, get my 2 clues out. And you know what? We are going to spend 3 to get Dorothy Simmons out, who may go immediately away when the Bat Horror comes in. All right, so Izzy's turn. First action, come in. Second action, let's see what's underneath here. Let's spend 4 clues as a group. Can we get 1 more? Who do we got? We have got Margaret Liu, the beguiling lounge singer. 135, aloof. After you succeed a skill test by 2 or more at this location, read her thing. So, I need a skill test. I need to succeed by 2 or more at this location. Ugh. Okay. I am going to spend 4. For my third action, I will spend 4 to get second sight out. Because then maybe I can do that next turn. Okay. So let's see here. So enemy phase. These guys, realistically, these guys all come here because it'll be quicker for them to come here and up than down. So basically, I've got next turn. This guy moves over here. This guy comes in, hits somebody, and then leaves. Just for simplicity's sake, I'll put him there. So that would be 1 away. I think, honestly, just Dorothy Simmons takes that and just goes away. Okay, upkeep. I draw Jim Culver. Gain a resource. We get a vicious blow. Gain a resource. All right, so we are at 5, 6 out of... Oh, and this guy ready. 6 out of 8, so this is my last turn here. Izzy gets test evade 3 for each point you fail by. Either lose an action or place one of your clues on your location. Well, I don't really want to lose actions. So currently I am a 3 versus... Oh, this shouldn't be there. So I'm even. I will take a direct horror to bring in unexpected courage. So I'm up by 2. I will spend 2 money for level-headed to be up by 4. You've got to be kidding me. You seriously got to be kidding me. Okay, well, I fail. Let's see. Is it only after it succeeds? No, after it resolves. So I fail. 0 to 3. I have no clues to spend, so I lose all of my actions. So Izzy is going to die again in this scenario because I don't even have an action to resign. Oh. So the plan was I have 2 guts in my hand and a timely intervention, plus level-headed. I was going to do 2 second sights to get those 2, and then get the heck out of here, and then resign. But clearly, that's not going to happen now. Thank you, Arkham. And Joe Diamond, let's see how he gets screwed over. Surge, well, put it... Okay, so the nearest enemy comes to my location. Sure. You know what? Well, no, because if he comes in... No, that's fine. Yeah, because this is it anyway. So he comes in. Because he engages me, he makes an immediate attack, and because he's elusive, he then runs away. So I am at 3 and 3. But this also surges into another one of these. Which means a whippoorwill comes in. Surges into. Test intellect 2. Gets +2 difficulty if you control 2 or more clues, which I don't currently. If you fail, take 1 horror and place one of your clues on your location. Okay, so I literally cannot... if I fail this, I die. So I'm up 2. But if I want a chance to succeed, it's timely intervention only. You are performing. So yeah, we'll have Isabel commit that. So we're up by 3. Okay, I succeed. All right, but the whippoorwill is here, which means, oh, I won't have an action to resign. All right. So my thought was, if I kill the whippoorwill, that's 1 test. If I'm over 2, that'll work. But I don't. I've got to engage first. So it's engage, fire, and then investigate. That'll be 3 actions. I won't be able to resign. So the only thing I can do is try to do 2 investigates, and I have 2 icons in my hand. So I'm up 3. All right, first action. Actually, yeah, this makes more sense. So, fast action. I'm going to spend 1. I'm going to kick my gun out to put another magnifying glass out, because that is a fast action, so that is not an action. Action 1, I'm going to investigate here. So I'm a 4, 5, 6 versus 2 minus 1. That is a... so that is a 5 versus a 2. Which means... And I need to succeed by 2, so I can only get a -1 here. Let's see. If I don't get this, then I just resign. Okay, +1. So I succeed. I succeeded by over 2, which means I get to read Codex 6. Margaret Liu. Margaret Liu, one of the most well-known lounge singers in town, is fully engrossed in her performance. You may have to get creative to catch her attention. Look at the top card of the encounter deck. You may discard it. Place 1 resource for Margaret Liu as a lead. If there are 1 or 2 leads on her, continue reading. Otherwise, any investigator may trigger this. Okay. So I will look at the top card. It's across. I don't care because I'm not even going to make it to the next round. All right. Second action. I am going to investigate again. I've got 1 book icon. So I'm a 4, 5, 6, 7. And Izzy's got nothing but willpower icons. So I am a 7 versus... Effectively, I am a 7 versus a 4. -1 because of the whippoorwill, so I'm a 6 versus a 4. -1, I succeed. Okay, so I get this other clue. And I get to put a second lead on Miss Liu. Your attempts to get Miss Liu's attention are more than effective, and soon you find yourself backstage with her undivided attention. I must say I was very impressed at your little, performance, she says. But why are you really here? The lounge singer's carefree smile vanishes at the mention of the Brethren of Ash. I don't know who they are, and I don't care, she says. I was headed home a week ago when I was accosted by 2 men in, and I must emphasize this, the ugliest robes you'll ever see. They had the strangest symbol on the hood, she says, then scribbles a crude sigil on a napkin. It resembles a hand with an insert eye. You ask her what happened next, and she nods to the bruiser at the door. Antonio scared them off. I haven't seen him since. You have successfully interrogated the subject. Place her beneath the act. Okay. So, action 1, investigate. Action 2, investigate. Action 3, resign. Okay, enemy phase. This guy's exhausted, but this guy comes in, hits for 1 and 1. That is enough to defeat Izzy. I needed... Oh, man, I just needed 1 action. Just 1 action. Thanks, Arkham. All right, so the scenario is done. Let's see here. Resign. Okay, so let's look here. If no resolution was reached because each investigator resigned or was defeated, that's what happened. On the cab ride to Velma's diner, you consider all that you've learned. Unfortunately, your search turned up plenty of leads, but few solid results. You can only hope Dr. Armitage has fared better. Reveal the enemy from the People of Arkham encounter set that was set aside at the beginning of the game. This is the true identity of the Servant of Flame enemy, the Harbinger of Elakos. In your campaign log, record character's name is the Harbinger of Elakos. It is Abigail Foreman, the wary librarian. It's always the librarians. Gather each elite enemy in play and or beneath a location when the scenario ended and shuffle them together face down along with the Harbinger of Elakos, then draw one of them at random. Okay, well, let's clear this up a little bit first. Okay. I love Arkham Horror, the card game, but sometimes, just sometimes, it is so bloody frustrating. As any Arkham player does, I'm sure we all have those stories. Okay, I just need one turn to do this, and Arkham comes in somehow. The encounter deck, the chaos bag, something happens where it says, no. You don't get that. And this was one of those games. Okay, so we got these all shuffled up. All right, so we are drawing the top card. It is, who is this? Cornelia Akeley. If it is the Harbinger of Elakos, record the investigators discovered the cult's whereabout in your campaign log. If it is another enemy, record the investigators failed in their search. If the Servant of Flame enemy is in the victory display, record the investigators killed the Servant of Flame. We did not. And each investigator earns experience equal to victory X of each card in the victory display, along with one bonus experience for each enemy beneath the act when the scenario ended. If the Servant of Flame enemy was beneath the act deck when the scenario ended, skip to Resolution 2, which it is not. Otherwise, proceed to Scenario 3. I didn't look to see if any of these actually had victory locations before I cleared everything out. Miskatonic University does. I did clear that out. Downtown, I think I cleared downtown. I'll have to check the video recording. I know I didn't get you. And then 3 for underneath there. So I think I get 5. All right, well, I'm going to record all this stuff in my campaign log, and then I will figure out. I didn't actually, with only 2 XP in the or victory points in the last game, I didn't bother to upgrade anything. This time I will have 7, so I should be able to upgrade at least a few things. Still probably won't be great going into the last scenario, but we will try it out. So if you made it this far, as always, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I will be back again soon to wrap up Brethren of Ash campaign and then give my thoughts on how it compares to Chapter 1's Night of the Zealot. So I hope everybody has a good evening, and I'll catch you again soon.